One of the newer features on the Husqvarna Viking Designer Epic 3 is the ability to scan the hoop. So whatever your fabric is, or if you're trying to stitch a edge-to-edge design on a quilt, whatever you put in this hoop, we have a way to scan the fabric and then lay our design perfectly placed on top of this. Hi, I'm Sarah from sewingmastery.com, and we're working through all the free video tutorials of the Husqvarna Viking Designer Epic 3. And if you want to start binge watching them from the beginning, there is a link in the description to all the videos, including links to our online courses that will also help you master every corner of this machine. So we're going to take you step by step. I've hooped up a printed tea towel, and I said printed because this is one of the tea towels I found on spoonflower.com when I was getting ready to film one of our newer courses, Embroidered Recipe Tells 101. There's also a link to that course as well. We do have a recipe that you can download in that course. It's one of our favorite family recipes. But here is a great way to kind of put it all together and see how the scanning feature works. Start by going to Hoop Options, select the hoop that you want to be using, and select Scan Hoop. Start Hoop Scan. Now this will walk us through a few things. For example, the recommendation to remove the presser foot, which I tend to just leave on. You also have a recommendation to unthread the machine, because if a little tail is following you around while it's scanning the hoop, that will kind of be picked up as kind of some extra blurriness to the scan. Do what it says, attach the hoop that we have told it we're putting on, and touch OK. You're going to notice it'll start in the upper right corner and start to take little pictures of the hoop. So this can be done with those larger hoops, smaller hoops. If you've got something that has a pocket, scan what you've hooped so the pocket appears, and then you don't accidentally place your embroidery too close to the pocket. So with here we have some print at the bottom here. I just want to make sure that I am liking what I'm seeing before I actually do the stitch out. The most common question people ask once this is done and after we've stitched your design, how do we get the scan off the screen? So let's go ahead and see what we have. Hoop Options, go ahead and close it. You see the exact design as it's placed, where the stitching is going to come to, and these little kind of bubbles. And I have to say, this is probably the first time I've scanned something light enough that the presser foot has actually shown up, but that's the actual presser foot. So that's why it actually tells you to remove it, but if you can kind of see past it, I think you're okay. Now's the time to add your lettering, add your design, whatever you want to actually see placed on here. So I'm actually going to bring in our recipe from our USB stick from our recipe course. I'm going to touch and hold. And I will tell you, this design exactly fits this hoop just because of its actual size. I can at least be aware that the color I choose for the ingredients, for example, needs to be something slightly different than the colors I see down here at the bottom where the apple actually is showing. So for example, if I had actually picked to stitch it in red, I can see immediately that the red stitching is going to get kind of lost in the fabric color over that direction. So that is a great way to kind of preview your design. And when you are ready, you can move things around, get it going. Another place that I have seen this being used recently in one of our classes is stitching on top of some of those big Hoffman floral panels where you can actually purchase designs that are stitched in each of those petals. And I'll put a link below to one of the companies that has those embroidery designs. This would be a great way to use as an exercise to figure out this machine. You would hoop it up, you would scan it in, and then just place the design exactly over each petal as you go. And it will make stitching them out super easy, and you don't have to be super precise. The other thing that you can do too is utilize the design positioning features once we go to the stitch out screen. Now we do have a course called the Husqvarna Viking Design Positioning Masterclass, and this would be another place where you could scan in your project because it actually has 20 hoopings, and you can work with the scan and the projection and the design positioning to get your design position correctly. And once again, not having to hoop perfectly every single time. So gone are the days where you have to hoop, vertical, horizontal perfection. Here, these days, I just get my fabric in the hoop. Maybe it's a little sideways, as long as I'm within the stitchable area of where the design needs to be, with a little leeway left to right so I can move it, adjust it, rotate it just a little bit. It is so much easier to do stitching designs. Another company that I do like, and here's one of my favorites, is working with the designs from Claudia's Creations. Those are also rehooping designs, and this would be another wonderful place to have that scan feature. You scan it in, and as you connect design 2 to design 1 or design 3 to design 2, they all are going to line up, and you won't be guessing if you actually have the right design connecting in the right area. So it's one more way to double check. Okay, so let's say we have done our stitch out, we're coming back, we've deleted our design off the screen, but here is the how to get it off the screen. So what you want to do is go to Hoop Options, select None, and then go out of Hoop Options. And what that will do, it will clear it out. Now I noticed on mine that my previous background color was more of a lighter color, and now I have a grayish color. So I might come in to change that color back to, say, white, and then I can come back here, probably a little easier to see, but that is one more thing that you do have in Hoop Options. Let's say you're embroidering on, today I'm wearing something green, so we can come in here, find a green background, match it to the fabric, and you'll have a good idea of what that is going to look like when you pull that design in. So for example, if I had a tea towel that was green and I was going to place a recipe on it, I could see what it's going to look like. I might want a little higher contrast to those colors that I'd be stitching on it, and be able to maybe even change them right here on the screen if I wanted to in that color edit area. And then that way you can see, do I have enough contrast so it doesn't get lost in that unique color. So Hoop Options, setting your color for your background, scanning the hoop, or when you're ready to get rid of your scanned image, None is what you're going to select. I hope you'll check out all of our free video tutorials and online courses that we have set up for you with the Husqvarna Viking Designer Epic 3. There is a complete list in the description below, and all those classes are designed to push you to the next level of working with every part of this beautiful machine. I hope to see you in class soon.